Welcome back to the PickaxeAndRoll.com film room, where we'll be looking at Game 31, San Antonio at Denver. First off, don't let Tim Duncan see you've got him listed as a center. He wants to be a power forward, for the love of God. Please don't put him at center. Alright, in our first real clip, watch how fast Kenyon Martin gets out on the break and surges past Tim Duncan. He's a good 30 feet ahead of Duncan by the time they get to the front court in that midst. That's what made that break a success. On this next clip, you're going to see some real sound zone principles applied in their Nuggets man-to-man defense. Notice how they get Anthony Carter, Melo, and Kenyon Martin all on the side with the ball defending Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. Because of that, they're able to get a steal and an easy fast break in the other end. That's something Boston's done really well this year, and that's a good job by the Nuggets. This next clip is something I would really like to see the Nuggets do more of, and they're going to run Tony Parker off a double screen along the baseline, which makes it almost impossible for the defense to adjust. You see Camby standing in the lane, unable to help out. I'd really like to see the Nuggets do that with Allen Iverson. Here we're going to see why Kenyon Martin is such a bad free throw shooter. He's shooting with his right hand, but the ball is being shot from in front of his left eye. There's no way to keep his arm straight, and that's why he's inconsistent. Watch how his follow-through flips off to our left. Not good. That's why he's a bad free throw shooter. In this clip, we're going to see something that makes me upset as a fan, and it's something easily remedied. You're going to notice there's a loose ball, and instead of getting on the floor and going to get it, both Camby and Nene just kind of stand there and reach down for it. Not good. They need to get on the floor for that loose ball. In this set, I want you to watch how quickly Nene gets the ball in the post and then decides to make a move, and he ends up passing the ball. But a lot of times you'll see a guy catch the ball in the post and kind of stand around and look around before he does anything. He gets it with 11 seconds on the shot clock, sizes it up, makes a dribble, and makes a good diagonal pass, which ends up in a good shot for Kleza. Good job, Nene, to make a quick decision and not take too much time. In this clip, we're going to see how a good pick and roll is going to set up an open three. Nene sets a good screen and gets good spacing on his roll. Iverson attacks the paint and then is able to kick out to Atkins, who actually made the three-pointer this time. Good pick and roll, good open three. I believe Eduardo Nájera is the best cutter the Nuggets have on their team. Watching this situation where there's the pick and roll, and then there's first cutter that goes through Kleza, and then Nájera cuts right behind him and gets an open layup. Duncan was still worried about Kleza, and that's why Nájera had perfect timing and got the open layup. One of the things that's bugged me about AI in the pick and roll is how often he dribbles away from the pick without first setting up his man. But watch in this instance, he fakes towards the pick, and that gets DeMar Johnson completely off guard, and then AI gets an easy layup. If he could set up his man when he goes away from the pick, he'd get a lot more layups just like that. In this clip, you're going to see something else that Nene needs to work on in the post. He's going to get the ball, and he needs to be able to feel where his defender is, and he should know that Alberto is on his high side. As soon as he gets the pass, he has to drive in and go for a basket. Instead, he gets fouled because he didn't make his move right away. Here, the Nuggets are going to have two problems, two breakdowns on defense that's going to result in the Spurs getting a three-pointer. First of all, Melo is going to be playing fine defense, and then after Bowen passes the ball, Melo will just drift into the lane. Then here, Carter's going to double, and you're going to see Kleza has the rotation, but Carter goes to Parker as well. One of them should go to Parker, the other one should go to Finley, and then Melo should be ready to go into the corner to Bowen. But instead of doing that, they give up the three. One of the more underrated aspects of Kenyon Martin's game is his passing ability, and you're going to see here a great touch pass from Martin that even surprises Melo. He's not going to be ready for it, otherwise he would have a wide open layup. Right there, a beautiful touch. In this clip, you're going to see a defensive breakdown by the Nuggets. Neither AI nor Martin step in to stop Parker from getting to the basket, and then Martin gets called for the foul for being out of position. You're going to see the replay here once again, and AI, instead of stepping to take the charge, just kind of swipes at the ball, and Martin is too worried about Duncan to come off of Parker until it's too late. You see Camby was already coming in, and he would have been able to guard Duncan had Parker passed the ball. Both Kmart and AI need to help off on that play. Here you're going to see another poor defensive rotation by the Nuggets. Camby, instead of rotating to the baseline, is going to stay up high, and when AI comes up to cover Bonner, Camby needs to be running to cover Vaughn as soon as that pass goes, and Camby could have made it because Vaughn was only about 18 feet from the basket. Here you're going to see, after Altitude comes back from showing their nice replay, even though the game's going on, good job Altitude, you're going to see AI run basically a one-man fast break, and that's something I'd like to see more of. This was off an inbounds pass from the other baseline, and he's able to beat the defense and get in for a layup. Good job, AI. Keep running that one-man fast break. Kenyon Martin defends Tim Duncan about as well as anyone, and you watch on this possession, you're going to see how good defense Kenyon Martin plays in the post. He's continually beating Duncan to the spot, even though Duncan has position on him each time he cuts across the lane. And then because he has Duncan pushed out far enough on the shot, he has plenty of room to box him out and go get the rebound. Awesome defense by Kmart. This here's about as nitpicky as anyone can get, but I'm going to get on Melo for having his hands holding his shorts on defense. He needs to have one hand down to check a dribble and the other one in the passing lane until that pick comes. But Nene got to steal earlier in the game because he had his hand out when Duncan went to make a move, and Melo needs to have that same kind of defensive stance with those hands ready to go. Here you're going to see how much the Spurs respect Carmelo's ability to score in the post. He's going to get the ball, and all 5 Spurs are going to be in the paint. He gets off a decent shot, but I'd like to see him kick out the ball and swing it around to AI for the open shot on the other side. We talked about what a great job Nahara does cutting to the ball, and here's another example of that. Melo gets the ball, and Nahara cuts right away after the double team when Alberto's more worried about covering the backside. Great timing by Nahara. Gets an easy layup. Great pass by Melo as well. At first, this turnover looks like it's Nene's fault, but it's really on Chucky Atkins. Watch how Atkins breaks back towards the Spurs basket instead of breaking towards half court to get the outlet pass. If you're going to be the point guard on a running team, you cannot break backwards for outlet passes. You got to be moving towards your end of the floor. Because of the turnover, Parker gets a couple free throws. We've already shown 2 really good cuts by Nahara. Now watch how the Spurs overreact to this cut. They all suck back into the paint, and that's a defensive breakdown that the Nuggets can take advantage of. Once again here we see some really good defense by Kenyon Martin. There's only 7 seconds on the shot clock, and the Spurs are trying to get the ball into Duncan at about the elbow. Martin forces him out to the 3-point line, and then when they go to run the pick and roll, Melo plays some really good defense on Finley as well, resulting in a really tough shot by Duncan. Good job, Nuggets. This is the possession where Anthony Carter hit that game-saving 3, and notice they're trying to get the ball into Melo in the post. Camby and AI kind of fumble around with a little bit, and really this isn't a good shot for the Nuggets on such an important possession. I would have liked to see a little bit more movement, but because it went in, the Nuggets end up winning the game. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Here you're going to see the game-deciding sequence for the Nuggets. Anthony Carter's going to double Duncan as soon as he fumbles the ball, and both Carter and Martin get on the floor to get that loose ball, which you love to see. The Nuggets bring the ball up, and they're going to try once again to get the ball into the right post for Carmelo. And when AI dumps it in there, Melo gets the ball and makes a great diagonal pass over to Carter. The Spurs are going to expect Carter to shoot again, but he unselfishly gives it up to Kenyon Martin for the 1-point lead. Good job, Nuggets. Now that's a good possession to close out the game. The Nuggets played very good defense in this game against San Antonio, and defense is the reason why they were able to pull it out, holding the Spurs to 77 points. Anytime you play the Spurs, it's a tough game, and even without Ginobili, the Nuggets had to earn it. Well, thanks for coming to the PickaxeAndRoll.com film room, and we hope you come back again.